coming to the third house in astrology, third house can also be called as the house of communication, efforts, younger sibling, courage, short travel. These are the main things that are or that can be seen by the third house. So starting with the communication. So third house shows how a person will hold a conversation, or if the person will be a good communicator in general, whether they'll have the ability to start up a conversation, or how they communicate, what type of communications they can have, whether they can have very deep conversations or all superficial conversations. These things can be seen in communication. Even we can also see if they can excel in communication related fields. So yeah, third house is the house to check the communication related things. Now coming to media, media is nowadays very important for almost everyone. So having a positive and good third house will be crucial for anyone to excel in media related fields. Here, humiliation is one of the negative things that can be seen in the third house. That is because in the natural chart, let's say, yeah, okay, this is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. In let's say someone's lagna is here, their 8th house 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 8. So let's say this is their 8th house and this is their first house. This becomes their 7th, the opposite house. Here this is the 8th house, and from here the opposite house here is the 2nd house, and first house, 2nd house, and 3rd house. So from here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. The 3rd house is the 8th house from the 8th. So the 8th house normally shows a lot of troubles or obstacles and these negative things that can be problematic in a person's life who prefers comfort and smooth and calm life in general. So here this 8th is already a problematic house, and the 3rd house, if your lagna is this, then 1 2 and 3, wherever the lagna may be, the 3rd house will always be the 8th from 8th. This is called Bhavat Bhava. So I'll explain these things later. For now, the 3rd house is the 8th from 8th, so you can expect the twice the amount of effects that can be seen in the 8th house. 8th house is normally considered as a very problematic house, but 3rd house can be twice as problematic if it is very negative or is in a very weak condition. If there are negative planets, or if the 3rd lord is in a negative place, these things can affect. And some people, if their 3rd lord is in a very weak condition, they may experience a lot of humiliation, especially when the 3rd lord's phase is going on. So yeah, we can see humiliation and these negative things also from the 3rd house. And media communication, yes. 3rd house is the house of courage. We can see whether the person will be courageous in any given situation, will have the courage necessary to face things. So we can see courage and the general level of fearlessness, or the type of effort they'll be able to exert. It also shows, the 3rd house also shows the level of energy too. So yeah, courage can be seen through the 3rd house. Stamina, effort, yeah, these things are correlated. Stamina, the ability to constantly keep working, and the ability to perform a lot of tasks can be seen through the third house. And the efforts, the type of efforts a person puts or exerts in a particular task. Let's say if a person's third house is ruled by Mars, then the person's efforts will be very high energetic, constantly. They'll have the high energy to constantly attack. Whereas if the person's third lord is Saturn, Saturn for example, then the person's energy will be calm yet constantly working. They'll have an excellent amount of stamina, given that the third house is positive and is not afflicted. Then the person will have the Saturn being the third lord of anyone's chart, being in good condition, will have a lot of stamina in general to perform a lot of things, especially related to the third house related things, effort and these things. So yeah, effort and stamina are correlated. And younger siblings can be seen through the third house. So whether the person will have a good relationship, or whether the younger sibling will face any problems in a person's chart. Let's say A is the elder brother and B is the younger sister. Then through the A's chart, we can see if B will be facing problems, and that can be done through the third house. And that is just a basic level. If we go into depth, we can see a lot of things just from the close relatives chart. This way, every house in some or the other way is related to some relative or ourself. So yeah. And one of the main things third house shows is short travel. For any type of travel, especially the travel within a country, third house becomes very important. Or travel, it may be long distance, but for a very short time. This can also be seen by the third house. So if someone's third house is very active and the person likes to travel, then that is very positive for them. So coming to writings, all writing work, publishing, these things can be seen through the third house. So suppose a person wants to get into the field of writing, publishing, or become a writer or an editor, the third house becomes very important. Next, confusion. Exactly, third house is 8th from the 8th, and this can cause these intense negative things, where a person can get very confused if if the third house lord or the third house is in a bad condition. Then the person may be in confusion, especially in that particular planet's phase. Okay, then vigor. Third house also shows the physical strength or the overall ability to perform a task. These things can be seen through the third house. So yeah, physical strength, stamina, courage to perform any task. Now coming to body parts, arms are seen through the third house. So if third house is afflicted, let's say by Saturn, then the person might have weak arms, or some joint issues relate in their arm. So yeah, and those things can be seen here. And especially this becomes very important when we see transit of planets. And I'll explain transit later, because there are many more things to explain before that. Arms is the body part linked to the third house. Neighbors, whether the person will have good neighbors, supportive neighbors, or problematic neighbors, All these things can be seen through the third house. Now let's say a person is going through dasha or bhukti. This is just a phase, and the planet is signifying 3, 8 in any way. Then the person might have problems or obstacles, that is the eighth house, with neighbors. Now, to avoid this, the person may strike up a conversation related to the eighth house. Now, let's say a person is moving to a new place, and the person has this combination. Let's say, yeah, A has this combination and B is the neighbor. When they move into the new place, the first conversation, or the if the initial conversations are related to the eighth house being house of occult or mystery or astrology or these things. Yeah, if you just strike up a conversation saying uh, I believe in all these mysterious things. I like the predictions that people make. I believe in tarot reading. Or if you just speak about the eighth house, then the person might not cause any trouble to you, because the eighth house is being activated already, and you activated it intentionally. So that person will not be causing problem to you. So 3 and 8 there gets activated, and you communicate with that person about the 8th. So this 8th is negated with the neighbor. That is one of the solution or simple remedies that can be done if a person has 3 and 8 active in his year-long dasha or bhukti. Sometimes bhuktis can be 2.5 to 3 years, and dashas can be very long span depending on the planets. Let's say for example, Venus has 20 years of dasha. So yeah, these things can be problematic. So these simple remedies can negate all the problems linked to neighbors. And if you have good neighbors, there's no issue at all. So yeah, everything related to neighbors can be seen through the third house. Brokerage, all types of brokerage, it may be real estate or any other field, brokerage or any brokerage work. If a person wants to be a broker, then his third house condition becomes important too. Third house and 10th house, because the work is related to 10th house. But yeah, brokerage, third house becomes important. And let's say you have third house afflicted by, let's say, Rahu, and you're entering into a contract, and that is through a broker, then there is a good chance of being cheated there, or that person being a fraud. Yeah, many things can be seen, but yeah, certain conditions do apply. But what I'm trying to say is, third house will be very important when it comes to brokerage, contract, paperwork, commissions. Yeah, contract too, especially when it comes to buying a house or any property. Contract becomes very important, because the chances of you getting cheated or any of the negative things can be seen by the third house. So yeah, third house becomes important for contract, paperwork, any type of paperwork, documents. These things can be seen by the third house, and that is one of the representations of the third house. And commissions, all sorts of commissions. The middlemen will have a strong third house, and 10th and 10th house if there is a link, especially. And the ability to perform any activity, especially physical activity, and the type of efforts, all these things can be seen through the third house. The level of ability a person may gain, the person may exert, the type of effort, these things can be seen by the third house. The memory of a person, if third house is afflicted or the third lord is afflicted, we can be sure that the person will have some memory issue, especially in the planet's phase. Not all the time, that will be very prominent when the planets phase is going on. Next, coming to lower mind. Now here there are trikonas, meaning trines, and three fall. The third house falls under 3, 7, and 11 trine. Now there are 4 trines in total: 1, 5, 9, 2, 6, 10, 3, 7, 11, and 4, 8, and 12. These houses are divided into or categorized into these things. The 159 is Dharma, 2, 6, 10 is Artha, 3, 7, 11 is Kama, and 4, 8, 12 is Moksha. So 3, 7, 11 becomes Kama Trikona, meaning the Trikona of desires. It can be dark, it can be normal, but yeah, 3 is part of this Trikon. So 3 naturally shows the lower, here it's mentioned as lower mind, because these desires are all related to the lower chakras in the human body. It may be Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, or Manipura. These chakras are linked to this thing, lower mind. That's why they are called desire linked houses. These show the fulfillment or the type of desire a person may have, especially linked to these 3 lower chakras. And publishing, all types of publishing work, writing, publishing will be very important, especially in media. Publishing work, the person will need a strong third house or a strong indication of third house being at least good. So publishing work, 3 becomes very important. 3, I use KP system a lot, so I have the habit of just saying the numbers like 3, 8, 12, 5, 8, 12. So yeah, for publishing work, 3 becomes very important. Journal, here journal meaning journalism. For journalism, which can most of the time be linked to media too, will become very active, or will be very good for the person to pursue if third house is very good. So for journalism, with when a person wants to enter into journalism, 10 or 6, the 10th house or 6th house, job related, employment related houses will need the support of the third house to get into the journalism fields. But to simply see if a person is well suited or is capable of entering into these fields, we can see through the third house. Now coming to residence change, here the residence change it's showing is short distance ones, like let's say moving from one city to city maximum, or a very short distance. But when there is a phase, for example, someone's bhukti, meaning some let's say 6 months of phase or duration, a person has 3 active, then the person may change his residence to somewhere close. It won't be foreign change, that is what I'm trying to say. It will be inside the country or somewhere close, not very far. Let's say it was showing 12 instead of 3, or 3 also being there, 12 is also there, then the person may change his residence to a foreign land. These things can be seen from 12 or 9 to, so 3, 9 and 12 usually become very crucial whenever it comes to foreign travel, settlement. So 3 is one of the houses that shows travel, especially short travel, short distance or short duration. These things can be seen by the third house. So third house, I think this covers it. Yes, this is third house.